Mic check 212. Mic check 212. All right, I was just doing an audio check, doing a little mic check before I do this lesson. All right, shalom. Shalom to the elect of Yasharallah, and shalom to the other men, women, and children of our nation, who YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI is going to have mercy upon them and the times we're coming into. Shalom to all of you. Shema Yasharallah, Yahawah, Allah NAWA, Yahawah He, BARAK YAHAWAH, BARAK YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH, Halalyam, NAWA, NAWA, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone, and much due respect to the sincere Akim who are laboring works. And shalom to you believers, to the Akim Aqua, which be you brothers and few amount of sincere sisters who do subscribe to this truth. All right. Our today's lesson is edifying. All right. Plain upon the table, straight to the point. I'm your brother Malkia, representing warriors for YAHAWASHI in Pasadena, Texas camp. All right, so today's topic is going into famine, pretty much. All right. Let me start with this very quick. Second Esdras, chapter 16. It's going to be a quick lesson. I only got a few scriptures I want to bring up. The book of Second Esdras, chapter 16, verses 21 through 22 in the KJV. Behold, victuals, right, your daily bread, food, water, provisions, your amenities, provisions, right? Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, right? So your provisions, your amenity, your food, your medicines, your daily bread, the things that you need. Let's say your basic commodities, commodities, if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. It's very affordable still on earth, okay? It's very affordable for a lot of people. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils, right, bad times, grow upon earth. Sword, famine, right, sword, nukes, missiles, World War III, Civil War, race wars, seditions among men, right, destruction. Okay, Esau, Edom himself, the wicked, who is the sword of our power, who King David had prayed to be delivered from. Famine, right? Starvation, hunger, and great confusion, right? So while evils are growing, while evils are constantly growing, here in America, all throughout the four corners of the earth, right? While you have many people dying, being injured, suffering from so-called natural disasters, right? Earthquakes in diverse places, uproars of the people. Some places are starting to feel that squeeze of famine. Talks of World War III, talks of drafting, talks of a cashless society, talks of just bad times. Okay, but because you can still pay rent, you still can afford rent, because you're still able to feed your pets if you got any, because you're able to still put food on the table, you're still able to feed several mouths other than your own mouth, right? Everything is still good for you, even though evils are growing all throughout the four corners of the earth, but you think that everything is good. Ain't nothing happening, because ain't shit happening on your block. Okay? So because you can still afford the things that you desire, you think that everything is okay. All right? But even then, what? Evils are growing. Bad times are constantly growing upon earth. Sword, famine, right? Starvation, hunger, and great confusion. Okay? All right? Let's see, in Shalom, Malak, YAHAWASHI, 𝐷AH, Shalom. Hey, that's a fire-ass picture. I ain't going front. It's a dope-ass pic. All right, let's go to that Lamentations very quick. There you go for... All right, so the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 9. Ayan the bar, Malak, Ayan the bar. All right, so Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 9 in the KJV. They that be slain, right, killed, with the sword, right, firearms, a nuke, a missile, a claymore, a javelin, AK-40 rounds from an AK-47, all right, assault gun, all right. They that be slain with the sword, like an instrument of death, right, are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. Right, so it's better to have a fast death. It's better to be killed by a nuke, by pretty much, let's say, a fast death, some type of death that, you know, pretty much kills you right there and then. All right, whether you're shot in the head, you explode, you were trotted down the mire of the street, you know, something really literally ran your ass over. Okay, you know, a quick death than to have a slow, painful death, which is famine. Okay, because while you're dying slowly from the famine, you're pining away, stricken through for want of food. I'm gonna show you a picture, the thumbnail that I use for the image. Let me upload that right quick. Hold on, let me get that for y'all so you can see it, so you can get an example. What's about to come upon a lot of people on earth, men, women, and children. All right, you see there? All right. You see on the right side, right? These two individuals are pining away, stricken through for want of fruits of the field. So for food, right? They're hungry, but they're constantly thinking about a desired meal. And the pictures on the left, this is what it really looks like when someone is starving. Man, you start seeing the bones. They're weak. It gets to the point where eventually you'll die. All right? But it's a slow, painful death. All right? It's a slow, painful death. All right, let's all right, so it's better for he or she to die a quick death than die from famine. And a lot of people are going to die from that. That's one of the plagues that's going to be sent upon the world. Famine. All right. Matter of fact, let me get that right quick since I mentioned that. Let's see. You know what? The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 50 in the G&T. The people of this world who have lived their lives in pride and arrogance will suffer many things in the last days. And what's one of those many things that a lot of people are going to suffer in the times you're coming into? Those who live their lives in pride and arrogance, right? Famine, starvation, right? For an example, the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 49. I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood. So a lot of men are going to die, which causing a lot of women to be a widow, an old maid, headless, pretty much. You don't have a husband. Poverty. So, you know, America is going to be in a state of poverty, poor, very, very poor. Famine, right? Hunger, starvation. Sword and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death. So one of the plagues that many people are going to suffer from that live their lives in arrogance and pride is starvation, hunger. And you got a lot of our people, the 2/3 of our nation, that's going to perish eventually. That's going to perish from famine. All right, 2/3 of our nation that's going to die are going to die from famine. Shalom, shalom, YAHAWASHI, 𝐷AH. Let me get that too. Let me make my way to Genesis very quick, and I'm gonna get yours. All right. So the book of Genesis, chapter 41, verses 28 through 31 in the New Living Translation. This will happen just as I have described it. For Yahweh, BAHASHAM YAHWASHI, has revealed to Pharaoh, modern day Pharaoh, right? You can look at the elites, the high banking families, Okay. Let's see. Reveal. Okay. These people right here, for an example. Let's just get an idea of what I'm talking about. These people right here. Okay. You can look at them as modern day Pharaoh. The very wicked, right, and his followers. Okay. This will happen as I have described it. For Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI has revealed to Pharaoh in advance what he is about to do. So our power, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI today is revealing onto modern day Pharaoh in advance on what he's about to do. Because he still have his prophets out here still teaching, still warning, still revealing to everyone on what Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is about to do. Okay, and they're doing it through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI by prophesying. Okay, all right. And our elders and the elders before our current elders has been constantly revealing onto America what's about to be done to America. The other nations, 2/3 of our nations who refuse to repent, they've been constantly revealing onto them ahead of time on what YAHAWASHI is about to do from that far out all the way to this very day. The next 7 years will be a period of great prosperity throughout the land of Egypt. So, and modern day Egypt, modern day land of Egypt will be America, right? Because Egypt goes into bondage, okay, and America is where a big bulk, where the elect, and the Israelites in general are held captive at to this day. Okay, and so we literally just witnessed America has already went through that complete number of years where it's going to have great prosperity throughout the land of America, right? But now we're witnessing this, right? Verse 30. But afterward, there will be 7 years of famine. 7 years of shortages, like a severe lack of goods. It's going to be a complete number of years, a complete number of times. Salakia. We don't know how long this famine is going to last for in America, but it's going to last for some time. But afterward, there will be 7 years of famine. 7 years, or a complete number of a time of people dying from famine, starvation, hunger. But afterward, there will be 7 years of famine so great, all the prosperity will be forgotten in Egypt, which is America. Famine will destroy the land. This famine will be so severe that even the memory of good years will be erased. So now we're experiencing the afterward part. We're in the afterward part where this famine is going to be so great that we're seeing the prosperity being forgotten in America to the point where it's literally going to be forgotten. Okay, nations are already ditching America and going with Brinks, setting up their own system to buy and sell. Let me say, okay. Many nations are prepping to go to war against America because a lot of nations are seeing America losing its prosperity. It's no longer useful. Okay, they no longer need a whore, and this famine is going to be so bad that people are going to forget about the past good times. They're going to forget about how good last Christmas was. They're going to forget about the good times that they had on Thanksgiving and the night they went to the rollerblade arena. They're going to forget about all of the people of this world good times, man. That's how bad the famine is going to be, man. People are going to be so hungry that people are literally going to forget about all the good years. Okay? Salakia. Let's get that Psalms right quick. Because during the famine, Even though this famine is going to be so great that people are going to forget about the good years, America is going to lose all of its prosperity, right? And even though this famine is going to be so bad, the elect are still going to be taken care of, man. All right, let me get that in Psalms right quick. Cause I like how it says you're going to have more than enough in the time of famine. 37. All right, so the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 19, a New Living Translation. They will not be disgraced in hard times, even in famine. They will have more than enough. So who is that they that will not be disgraced in hard times? Who is that they that will have more than enough during the famine? The elect, the believers of YAHAWASHI, the servants of the Lord Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHWASHI. All right, let's go into that in the book of Isaiah, chapter 65. It goes into that. Let me get that right quick. All right, so the book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verses 12 to 14. Oh, Salakia. I didn't even know that was playing in the background. My bad. Got a little music playing in the background. I'm trying to set the mood, you know. All right, so the book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 12 through 14. Therefore, let's see, therefore will I number you to the sword. Pretty much, right? So there's a number of Israelites that's going to receive a terrible death, okay? Whose name's already written on a nuke, some missiles, judgment. Esau, Edom, a particular Edomite that's going to get you. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, right, when YAHAWASHI called, and he's still calling by his men still being able to teach you, ye did not answer. A lot of y'all are not answering us right now. You're scoffing at us. You're mocking at us. You're giving us hard times. You're going against us. Which really you're doing that towards our power. Right? So ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear. Right? So when the prophets are constantly rebuking you, teaching you, trying to edify you, you did not understand. The Spirit did not hear, did not understand. But did evil, right? Did wickedness before my eyes, and did chose that wherein I delighted not. So because you Israelites did wickedness instead of doing what's pleasing in the eyes of YAHAWASHI, you've been numbered to a sword. You've been numbered to death, pretty much. So guess what? During the famine, right? Verse 13 and 14. During Jacob's trouble and etc. Therefore, thus said the Lord, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHWASHI, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Right? A servant is someone who serves a master, someone that's greater than them, right? Right? So not everyone is serving the true powers, YAHAWASHI. Only Hebrew Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, Native American Indians, Israelite foreigners, the sincere believers are the ones that's serving YAHAWASHI. Right? So they're going to be the one that's going to be kept fed, satisfied during the famine. Therefore, thus said the Lord, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHWASHI, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Those who are serving Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHWASHI with fear and trembling, sincere and truth, and spirit and truth, are going to be fed. Lord willing, we are those men. For the few sincere aqua, Lord willing, you be fed by coming across one of these elect men, and you become the worthy to take on his name and become one of his wives. So you can be provided in those times too. Right? Come across one of these men that fits Isaiah 32 and 2. The men that's going to be at the hiding place. Behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, right? Your mind, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Let me get that GT very quick. Psalm 37. I'm getting there. Bear with me. Isaiah 65. So look, yeah. Okay. All right, so the book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verses, let's see, 12 through 14, in the Good News translation. It will be your fate to die a violent death, because you did not answer when I called you, or listen when I spoke. You chose to disobey me and do evil. So 2/3 violation, because you chose to disobey our power and do evil, because you did not answer when we called you, or you ain't take heed to the prophets, the men who he revealed his secrets unto, who has the testimony of YAHAWASHI Mashiach. So now what? Now it's your fate to die a violent death, and one of those deaths is going to be famine. Okay? And so I tell you that those who worship and obey me, right? Or worship and obey who? Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM QaDash. And so I tell you that those who worship and obey me will have plenty to eat and drink. Plenty to eat and drink. But you will be hungry and thirsty. They will be happy, right? The elect, the believers of YAHAWASHI, but you will be disgraced. 2/3, you non-believers. Starting with those that know that he, she is a Hebrew Israelite. They, right, the elect, the believers, will sing for joy, but you will cry with a broken heart. All right, so while you're hungry, you're miserable, you're going through it, the elect going to be laughing at you. The elect going to be having a good time. You know, even though the elect going to be seeing some crazy shit, but in those times, the elect's fate is going to be on a whole nother level, man. Okay, you're going to have a whole different spirit on them. Yeah. So let me see what the brothers got up here very quick, and I'm gonna close out. Let's see. Let's see. You have something that caught my attention earlier. Okay, so the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 5, is from the brother Yohanan. Behold, saith the Lord, Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, right, starvation, hunger, death, and destruction. So these are one of the plagues that our power is going to send upon the world. Famine, starvation, hunger. Okay. Even the acts in the past, when our power visited, was one of the plagues that he always brought upon people. Famine, starvation. Okay. Let's get this very quick. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 22. And suddenly, right, suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall be found empty. So storehouses also goes into stores, like an actual store. Okay. Warehouses, armory. Okay. So the time is going to come where suddenly these places, let's say the inventory, the sales floor, the inventory floor in the actual warehouse is going to be found empty suddenly too. Okay, and that's going to cause a lot of turmoil to follow right after that. It's going to be chaos because there's not enough food or no food at all available on the sales floor. It's so bad that it's even affecting the storehouses, so they can't push out what they got, and whatever they do got to push out, it's going to cost a lot of money. Okay, so expect to see your nearby supermarkets, your bodega, these stores are supposed to, sell whatever it is, especially like, food, victuals, right? There's going to be little to none. And it's going to seem like it happened suddenly without warning, all at once, out of the blue. All right. Let's see. Khan already got that in G&T. God, but I'll bring it up again. The book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 13 to 15. Okay. In the Good News Translation. And so I tell you that those who worship and obey me will worship and obey Yahawah Bashim Yahushai. And there's ways on how you show obedience to Yahawah Bashim Yahushai when worshiping, when serving Yahawah Bashim Yahushai. We'll have plenty to eat and drink. So you're going to have more than enough on the famine. All right. But you will be hungry and thirsty. 2/3 of our nations, okay, the non-believers, and of course other nations too. Right? They will be happy, but you will be disgraced. So the believers, those who were worshiping and obeying Yahawah Bashim Yahushai now, when the world lacks faith on our power, they'll be the ones that's going to be kept. They're not going to be disgraced. You're going to be disgraced, a non-believer. Okay? Verse 14. They will sing for joy, the elect, the believers, but you will cry with a broken heart, the non-believers, 2/3. My chosen people will use your name as a curse. Woo! The sovereign Lord Yahawah Bashim Yahushai will put you to death, and I will give a new name to those who obey me. All right. Let's see. Let's get this right quick. Psalms chapter 33, verses 18 to 22 in the Good News Translation from the same brother Yohanan. It says, the Lord Yahawah Bashim Yahushai watches over those who obey him, those who trust in his constant love. He saves them from death. He keeps them alive in times of famine. That right there is definitely a miracle. Being fed during the times of famine. And this famine is going to be so bad that people want to even forget about the times of the good years, man. All right? They will forget about how America was once prospering. Its prosperity was so great that people want to forget about it. All right? Verse 20. We put our hope in the Lord Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahushai. He is our protector and our help. That's why YAHAWASHI, when you break it down, Yah, He, Hawashai, He delivers, He saves. He's the one that protects and saves. But who? The elect. All right. On this side, verse 21, we are glad because of Him. Right? Yahawah Bashim Yahushai. We trust in His holy name. We trust in His holy name. That's why it's very important to know the names. Okay? And we have it through the Spirit and power of Yahawah Bashim Yahushai, starting with our elders from Great Millstone. It was revealed unto them. And they've been revealing through the Spirit and power of Yahawah Bashim Yahushai to everyone else. To the sheeps. To the whole nation. Even to 2/3. But they don't trust in His holy name. But we do. Lord willing, we continue to believe and trust in His holy name. Verse 22. May your constant love be with us, Lord Yahawah Bashim Yahushai, as we put our hope in you. Okay. Let's get this very quick from the brother Yanazar, representing servants of Yahawah by Yahawashi, Prince Yanazar. 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 9. And salt water shall be found in the sweet. Right? That's why you've seen a lot of waters being reported as being what's that word? Wormhole, something like that. It goes into like bitterness. Waters being contaminated with like different chemicals from all these train derailments. Okay, remember what happened? Was it Philadelphia not too long ago? Let's see. Let's go back to that. and salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall be Shalaki, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, right? This wisdom and knowledge is going to be hidden, okay? Because of what? The famine of word. The prudent, right? The prophets, the elect are going to be silenced in those days because the days of evil. Then shall wit hid himself, shall wit hid itself, and understanding withdraw itself from the secret chamber. Right? What comes to mind? Was it Isaiah chapter 24, verse well, you can read, I think, 10 to 12. The city of confusion is broken down, that no man may come in. Just paraphrasing, there was a crying for wine in the streets. Okay, understanding was withdraw itself into the secret chamber. Yeah, the point I want to get out of here was this wisdom knowledge is going to be hidden soon. Okay, it's not going to be available to the public anymore. Let's see what else the brother got. And I'm gonna close out. Yeah, we got that one too. Yeah, the verse 12. It'll be your fate to die a violent death. Yep. Yeah, I think that's the actual scripture too, if I'm not mistaken. That's the actual scripture. It says people return to their primitive state like animals. Yep. When society collapsed, pretty much it's just going to be a lawless society, and people are, especially men, are going to return to pretty much like that primitive state like mindset during the famine. Okay, a dog eat dog type world. Okay. Let's see. Let's get this right quick. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 44, verse 12, in the New International Version, the NIV, verse 12. I will take away the remnant of Judah, the remnant of the southern kingdom, right? Starting with the head tribe, the tribe of Judah, the tribe of YAHAWASHI, which would be the so-called Negroes, who were determined to go to Egypt to settle there. It says they will perish in Egypt. Modern day Egypt would be America. So a lot of Israelites are going to perish in modern day Egypt, which would be America. They will fall by the sword, right? The nukes, the missiles, the ICBMs, or die of famine, or die from starvation. Okay, we read in 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 21, how it say many of them shall perish of famine. Wait, Slack. I don't think I even got that. My bad. Let me double check. Hold on. Let me get that right quick. I don't think I actually read the whole thing. Let's double check. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. So many people that's on the earth are going to perish, are going to die from hunger. Okay, and to start off on here, it says that, it says that there's going to be a remnant of Judah who were determined to go to Egypt to settle there. So, woe unto them that goes down to Egypt for help, just paraphrasing, right? And guess what? They're all going to perish here in America. If not by a sword, if not by a nuke, a missile, it's going to be, according to the scriptures, famine is one of them. Starvation, hunger. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, of hunger, starvation. And the others that escape the hunger, that escape the starvation, the hunger, the famine, the starvation, shall the sword destroy. So if you're able to make it through the famine, it's probably because YAHAWASHI preserved you for those nukes during the lake of fire. All right. And our barak is that we don't get caught up in that. Let's see. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see. That's pretty much it. I want to make the lesson too long. I just want to make the point. Many people are going to perish from famine, man. A lot of people are going to die from starvation, man. Believe it or not, hey, it is what it is. You know what? Since I mentioned that, let me end up with that. If you don't want to believe, hey, it is what it is. Because of your non-belief, is going to get you killed in those times, man. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1 through 4. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. And that's what the prophets of YAHAWASHI are still doing to this day. Speaking the words of prophecy onto the ears of our people, right? The Hebrew Israelites. The words of prophecy. Telling you what's going to happen through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI before it happens. Which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So the words that we are speaking onto the ears of our people, Yasha'Allah, the words of prophecy, are the words that's written in the Bible, because they are faithful and true. Yes, you had men written it, right? Hebrews like men that physically written it, but through the spirit, right, in their mind, Allah, through the spirit and power, YAHAWASHI, and our power was dealing with these men to write down prophecies, okay, to write down what our power said. And the words in the Bible are faithful and true. Even the bitter, even scriptures that goes into like people going to die from famine, that's faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. So don't let a 2/3, a non-believer, someone who is unable to believe in doing the will of YAHAWASHI, trouble you from believing, fearing, serving, and operating the lot that YAHAWASHI has given you. Okay? For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So a non-believer is going to have to die in non-beliefs. If you believe that nothing's going to happen, if you believe that it's not going to be a famine, it's not going to be starvation, hey, that might be a fate to die a terrible death. You might die from believing that there's not going to be a famine. Okay? So I've brought this out. The lesson was edifying. The water for tuning in. The water for the precept, Akim. All right, YAHAWASHI BARAK. I'm going to close out by giving a much due all phrases, honor, and glory to Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA HaQaDash, and double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone, and much due respect to the sincere Akim who are laboring works. Shalom to you believers, to the Akim wa Aqua, which will be your brothers, and few amount of sincere sisters who do subscribe to this truth. DTA, Abba soon, Kwam Yasha'Allah, Yahawah Bahashem, Yahawashi, Babakasha, 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 Shalak Rayum, Wa Ainasham, Wa Abadium, Wa Haragium, Wa Mashapatium, Al Call Adawamium, Wa Gawayum, Wa Ayabyam NAWA, Babakasha, 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 Yahawah Bahashem, Yahawashi, Tawada Aman, DTA, Abad Baba, Abad Baba, Abad Baba, soon. Shalom.